I would go back to an ancient biblical story. There's a story of a very negative person, as he's spoken about. His name was Bilam. Bilam was a sorcerer. He was a person who had it was said, very
powerful. For our
powerful.
friends out there that have never heard that name before, what does Bilam mean?
It doesn't have a direct translation. It's a combination of different words, and
that add up to some.
But he was known, again, in the Bible, the story is brought that he was a very strong sorcerer, and so much so that if he would curse somebody, it would always come true. So he was being sought after to curse the Israelites, being led by Moses at that time, who were in the desert. And there's a very, very interesting, and I think very much lesson for this topic. The conversations that went on between Bilam, this great sorcerer, and the Creator. And it almost seems like a contradiction within the biblical texts, whereas Bilam is always saying the words, I will only do what the Creator wants me to do. I will only do what God tells me to do. And then in his conversation with God, God says, listen, I don't think you should go. And Bilam says, but I really want to. So then God says, okay, you should go. And again, you can do a whole biblical study on this. This could take hours. It's really beautiful. I personally find it interesting. But the point is the contradiction between the way he was viewing what was happening, which was that God was on his side, God was telling him to do it, and the clarity of the verses was making it clear that Bilam should not have gone and to try to curse the Israelites and do what he did. To answer that question, how can the verses be so contradictory? Was God on his side telling him to do it, or was God telling him not to do it? And if that is the case, that God was telling him don't do it, how was he getting the message? No, God wants you to go ahead and do it. So the answer is a very, very important understanding about life. And that is that what we refer to as the Creator or the light of the Creator or God is an energy. And we know that energy can be used in many different ways. If you put a lamp into the socket and the bulb is blue, then you'll have blue light. If you put a different bulb and you put a white bulb, now you have white light. So the socket, the electricity, doesn't have an opinion about whether it should be white or blue. It's there and can be used. And that is the way to understand the force of what we call the Creator or the light of the Creator, or God, as some people call this force, that it is an energy. And you can use that energy for positive things, but you can also divert that energy into whatever your preconceived notions are, your own selfish ego desires.